Hey guys, hidden behind this veil of plop light here, I've got my work in progress on this kit finally up to a point where I want to show you guys what I'm working on and talk about it a bit. So without any further ado, here's my progress on the 1:144 scale XekuSchweifstern. Now, I've been mentioning this kit quite a lot as something that I've been working on, and to break it down, basically this is a commission, I should say first, so the client and I had a lot of brainstorming for this kit, and basically what we started off with in the beginning was the idea of the ZakuEins, which is most of what you can see here, meets the Deep Striker. And so, as you saw a few videos, maybe like 20 videos back, I showed you guys the Ace Hobby Deep Striker and mentioned that I was going to be using it for this project. Ultimately, we basically decided that we're not really going to be using that kit for this project at all. We've gone with a handful of other kits that we're going to be using for parts for this, but the majority of it is going to be based on the HGUC XekuEins, and some of the inner frame is going to be used from the RG Zaku too. So yeah, as you can see, turn this on so you can start spinning it around. It's about half. It's actually less than half because there's going to be a lot of work on the backpack and stuff that needs to be done, but for the just main body itself, it's less than half. But it's getting there. Anyway, one leg and one arm are basically almost done. There's still a bit more stuff to do, a lot of cleanup and detailing stuff to do, adding some more panel lines and some more details and a few other minor changes I'm going to be making, but you're basically looking at what it's going to be looking like on what's done so far. So obviously the parts that are done so far are the parts that are gray because there's primer on them, and let me give you a look kind of at basically what I've been doing. We'll start with the arm here. Let's go ahead and take this off. The shoulder armor is basically the same here. I haven't made any changes to that except for inside. This is a part that sandwiches onto the arm, onto the top of the arm there. But in order to get rid of the seam line on the top, I had to glue that together, so I don't know if you can see, but made a little notch in there where it attaches on, so it can just be slid onto these there. So I don't have to worry about that when I paint it. I can paint it separately. And then that just pops on like that. And there we go. And that's on the arm. So that was pretty simple. The top of the arm, it was more square. I basically had to cut off this edge and make this hole more on the top so that I could increase the motion up, because as you can see, the Zeku's arm doesn't go up any more than that. That's it as far as it goes up, but this one now it can go up much farther to about like that, basically a 90-degree angle. So that's good, that's better. And I wanted to keep the RG Zaku's elbow. Let me just take this off there. So as you can see, this is basically the Zaku's arm there. These parts, and because the Zaku's inner frame, a double jointed elbow, is inside of there, so we've got a pretty good bend there, much better than what we had before. And that just uses the ball joint that's at the top of the Zaku's inner frame, and I just put a ball joint, a polycap in there, so that can just attach into the arm like that. These parts are still kind of rough, but these are the same parts from the Zaku's arm, but I added an extra layer of plot plate around on them. It's actually 3 parts, so they've got some separation there. There's a front part, a back part, and then the back part is 2 parts. And then this part on the top is from the Zeku. It was more square. I rounded it a bit. I think I might round it a bit more. And that just plugs in to the front part of the arm, which will have to be glued once it's all painted. But I basically added this part here under the hand because that houses a poly cap in there for this part to plug in. Without this, it was looking kind of like not quite right, and it's still, I'm not quite sure. I might still do something to this, but just added a little circular part there, and this part is actually from an old XS model from 1988. It's a part that like hangs down below the shoulder armor. I just added some plot plate to the side to make it a bit wider, and if you can see there, so that still needs to be finished on the inside, and the outside as well is still pretty rough, but still some more work to be done on that. This plugs into the arm, and that plugs onto there. And the RG hands were just not very good. RG hands are nice, but I just didn't think they were going to work for this kit. And the ZekuEins hands are too big and bulky and just old. So I got these. These are HG Builders parts, 144 scale Xeon hands. So they're like the rounded hands, not the Federation type. So those look really nice. Tons of detail. And so that's basically that. Just pop this back together. And now that the arm is back on the kit, I'll show you the articulation of the shoulder. I can move this around. It does go up about that far, so quite a bit farther up. And then the side skirt armor was pretty simple. And I just broke off the peg there. It's not 100% finished. Basically what I did was take this, which is the shoulder armor of the Alpha A0. You can see where the arm pulls down like that. And just kind of reshaped it. Cut it out and reshaped it and made this. Added just a little thruster there and a peg, which was not very secure and I knew it was going to come off. But as you could see, it was just pegged onto there, onto the side like that. Pretty simple. It's going to add a few more details to that as well a bit later. And then we've got the leg, which is really what I had been working on the most, and it took quite a lot of a lot more engineering skill than I really have. Basically, this entire project has been a lot of stuff that I've never really done before, and especially not to this extent. But let's just pull this off so you can see. I basically separated the ZekuEins leg thigh armor into 3 parts. This top part, which holds the ball joint, because I wanted to keep this hip joint there. So that's got the ball joint and then just pegs into the top of the leg. And that's got a front and back piece. And then this piece here is from the Zaku. So that's just plugged into there, so that when it bends at the knee, going very slowly, carefully, so this part still stays separate. And then we've got the Zaku's knee kind of pokes out under there, so it's kind of got like 2 knees there. And of course, as you can see, I've kept the Zaku's energy cable, which does plug in under there. I don't have it plugged in right now, but the plug is still inside of there. So that will plug in. Basically just made a hole in the side of the ZekuEins leg armor for that to feed through. like that. This knee and front ankle piece are basically just totally scratch built. They're really simple and they work okay, but I actually think I might be changing them a bit, especially this lower part. I'm not sure. I've already worked on this a lot, but it might need it. We'll see. Anyway, I did add 3 little thrusters underneath there. The foot was just like one solid piece. I cut that and separated it and added a joint so it does have a bit of toe movement there, forward and back. This piece and this big piece on the side are from the Hitekai Ginkei kit. This piece moves up and down like that. There's just a ball joint I put, or not a ball joint, polycap I put up inside of there. And then this piece will rotate back and forth and then bend a bit like that. Now, if you saw my Hitekai Ginkei review, I said we've got 2 versions of these kind of wing bits here on the side. This is a folded up one, so like when it's like inactive, you can use that. If we pull this off, we can take those off very gently because they're super, yeah, they're just really fragile. But then we've got this open version. You can see when we've got that plugged into there. This I added. These were the kind of verniers from the back of the Zaku 2's leg. And then this is the thruster from the inside of the Zeku's leg. And kind of put those together and then put them on the inside of this part with a little movement there for some thrusting. And we can plug this in. We can find it. There we go. Plug it into the side of the leg there. And you can see when it's going to be flying like that, it's going to look pretty cool. So that's that. And then on the back of the legs we've got just the same fuel tanks that were on the ZekuEins. They didn't really change those except got rid of some detail that was on the side of there. Basically my issue has just been dealing with this big gap around the bottom of the leg above the foot. There's kind of a lot of space there that was made from the extension of using the Zaku's inner frame inside where it doesn't really fit well. When it's down like that, I mean, it looks okay. You can't really notice how much of a gap there is because I've tried to do my best to cover that with this long front piece and this piece on the side. But then here in the back we've still got kind of a lot of space there. It looks a bit strange, so I might add still something there. But yeah, like I said, it's still a work in progress. Any ideas, or if you think it's not that bad, let me know. Alright, and just to show you some of the other stuff here. For the back skirt, let's look at this. I'm going to be using this, which is the back skirt of the Alpha Zero, and the fuel tanks of the Alpha Zero, which are going to attach. There's 2 of those, and they're going to attach up under there like so. You're going to have to use your imagination a bit here with me. So it's going to have a big back skirt like that, with some funnels and more fuel tanks and just very heavy in the back there. There's that. This is the giant booster of the GAP plant, just going to be going on the back off the backpack like so. Going to be using these, which are the excess boosters from the old, not high grade, old non-grade 1144 scale kit. So they're not quite as detailed as the high grade, but I'm going to add some detail to them. And there's going to be so much going on in the back that it's gonna be alright. So it's gonna be on there something like that, and then these on the side like that, and then to replace the giant cannon, got this Kotobuki weapon. It's on a 2-part arm there with just a peg, so that's gonna plug into the side of here, just like that, similar to the beam cannons of the XS Gundam. And then that is able to fold open and fold like that, so it's going to be able to fire that over the shoulder. Something like that, as you can see. So that's going to be pretty cool. And for a handheld weapon, we've got this Kotobuki weapon here. That's pretty cool, just for its versatility. Let me kind of show you. Here's one of the ways you can use it. Basically like a small Bullpup Gun. So it's going to be just holding that like so. These are just ammo packs you can have on the top. You can switch that out for just a flat piece to cover that. Or there's this part which plugs in just like that, and you can attach this wire which goes to an ammo drum, which actually plugs perfectly into the shoulder armor up there. So that's cool. We've got some options. And then we've also got options in the barrel length. Here's just a short one. And we've got a bit longer one, medium length one. And then it gets even longer with that. So that's got a full length, and if you don't like this stock, you can pull that off and just put a smaller one on there. So tons of options with this gun. That's going to be nice for a lot of options. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of other stuff going on with this kit. It's really a lot of work, a lot of undertaking, but I think it's coming along pretty well. Yeah, so that's about it for this work in progress. Still a lot of work to go. There'll probably be a few more work in progress videos before it's actually finished, but anyway, if you guys have any questions, comments, or advice, please go ahead and leave a comment below. And thanks for watching.